off these guys. Like, the fact that they've been on top of the leaderboards weeks in a row, you've got to think this is a favorite going into Fortnite World Cup Finals. You have to.
I think, I'm looking at everybody using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup and all the predictions going in for New York, all the different personalities starting to make their opinions known. Everybody is putting Stompy and Shinken way up there, if not first and second, because they are dominating week after week, and I think we are in for a treat in this game because they're getting close and they're in the end game, and this is, honestly, I think this might be the first time we've seen them, and you know what they do in end game, Zeke. It is crazy, clinical Fortnite.
They absolutely terrorize the lobby. Everything they do is about how can they get an edge up, and then they make sure they're almost like squeezing the life out of you very slowly, right? Suffocating is like the word my mind went to, but it's kind of just like they're bringing the wall.
It is that.
It is that, right?
Because like when they do find an opportunity, they pounce so hard and so fast, and you have no time to react, and they just come from multiple angles, just like this. Stompy from above, Shinken on the bottom, and he already takes down one carries exactly. You see Shinken switching to him right now. He actually can get right behind him, and he finds it, but does now need to make sure that nobody is going to take advantage of the fact that Stompy is down. You can see immediately editing him down all the way because he needs to change positions. Everybody knows they just got an elimination in that box. And I think Freddy and Snagged right here are going to see if they can take advantage here. They're definitely getting the loot, so maybe that's enough for them.
I think they're going to get the revive off. And don't forget, Shinken actually has a Chug Jug in inventory, so he's going to be completely okay. He passes it over to Stompy. This is good. Now they have to have the 15 seconds. This is where things could get a little crazy, right? Because we saw the duo up above. If they decide to challenge, Stompy is not in fighting condition right now.
A note there that Stompy went so far away from where that initial fighting was and goes all the way to the farthest spot, not only for the zone, but also for anybody trying to find out where you are. And here comes the launch pad from Stompy. They're going to move ahead. Ooh, a nice little short launch there by accident even, but I'll take it if I'm Stompy.
Absolutely. And just to reiterate your point, these guys are playing at the highest level possible, right? They know what a Chug Jug sounds like. Those sound cues are so very distinct. If you're sitting in a box and you hear that sound down below, you're like, we're going down, let's make some edits, someone's on critical, we're gonna take him out, and that's why he moved so far away, to make sure no one knew what was going on. So huge. 23 duels left, 39 players. Right now they're making a rotation. You've got people out in front, which is good, and they're still staying close by, which is really gonna maximize their efficiency here. A lot of people going down in the lobby as well.
I think staying close by is something we're actually not really used to seeing from Stompy and Shinken. We see them trying to take over the lobby and get as many opportunities as possible, but what is that from Stompy? I mean, but one of the things that is very important here to note is their mobility is starting to look scarce. All that we see on Stompy right now is that glider play. They already used their shadow bombs, the launch pads, because of the position they were put in. They couldn't rotate early. So here, staying together, making, oh my goodness, he found
got a rift.
As I say that, the rift to go, the almost most valuable item at this point in the game, because not only are people rotating in the congested zones, but they're not looking up, because that first portion of the movement, everybody is looking to see, where do I need to go next?
And they've got a great bird's eye view, right? They're slowly descending on. You've got Alpha there going to drop down, but look, so now they're going to make the decision. We have to contest.
Oh, they knocked out.
Someone just brought the entire structure down. It depends on what they decide to do. Look at Stompy. He's already trying to contest for the high ground, and Shinken had to stop for just a moment to get that many off. He's got the Shadow Bomb, but I don't think he wants to use this right now. He gets cracked from behind. The Slurp is still ticking right now. He's just got to get himself into safety. He doesn't have any other utility baller, like a campfire, that would help him right now.
Yeah, but possibly Stompy does, and he's right on top of him now. So great, staying together. They're glued to each other, almost in another elimination. First finding it before moving out. He gets stuck in the cone, but he's got to cover himself first. Does end up going down the zone. So perfect play here from Shinken, and he's moving forward. And they did get in the top 15 just now as well with those 2 eliminations.
And just the way that Shinken is like fluidly chaining eliminations back to back. And remember, if you don't finish that player off, there's a little bit of time before that siphon comes through. There's a player in the box! Oh! It doesn't even matter! Nebby gets shut down! They're on 11 eliminations right now. They're about to hit top 10. Bala, they're playing out of their freaking minds!
Nebby, one of those players who was towards the top, him and his teammate from Evade, and getting shut down here from Stompy and Shinken, 2 people who have already qualified, who are not playing for qualification spots, but playing for keeps. Right now, they're showing off why they should be at the top of the leaderboard. And we just talked about it. We were like, where's Stompy and Shinken? Because there's nobody who's qualified at the top of the leaderboard like we're used to seeing. But maybe after this game, things are going to change. But the Heavy Snipey coming in. Heavy Snipey?
Snipey, yeah, absolutely. Snipey coming through. Now, don't forget, they're also at 66 points. We've seen 3 duos now with that point value. And look at this, Stompy's got to chain together these eliminations. Shinken is down, but it's okay. Stompy's been in positions like this before. He knows how to clutch these games up. The campfire is rolling, Bala. He's getting back in that rhythm.
Getting back in that rhythm and achieving top 5 right there, that last placement threshold before the Victory Royale. So all he has to do.
Here we go, the key to all doors! Oh my! Okay, I'm gonna lose my freaking voice after today. I'm telling you right now, Stompy and Shinken are putting on a show. The European queues are done as well. It's a free-for-all right now. Also, Pewds goes down a rocket from up above, Bala.
Just barely dodging that. And now he's up to 10, 15 total for this duel. It's a 1v1v1. He's hunting the player down on low ground, but he can't get in the zone. I think that's going to be the end because Katsus is looking right at him. Now, has the Chug Splash. The RPG just barely is going to hit the wall in front of him. Using the Chug Splash and the campfire, I don't think it's going to be enough because the player up above probably has more in the tank, but he's going to come down. Is it going to happen? No. Massey is going to win that game against Cactus over the heel off there, and that is just an unbelievable sequence of events. We followed Stompy and Shinken from the beginning, and look where they ended up. 15 eliminations, the most out of any placement thresholds besides the Victory Royale. That is a performance for the ages and a reminder of why we need to be scared of them going into New York City.
That ain't no little tiny thin pancake, bro. That's a big old beefy pancake covered in delicious syrup. You like to see it. But of course, guys, there's more Fortnite action. We've got more games hopping in right now. Got Dervig and his duo partner. They've got their eyes set on another duo sitting in a box. I believe they've got double heavy snipes. That's why we ping this out. A single shot's going to come out and wait for it. Okay, so they're going to break this wall. They want to get a little bit of a better vantage point. That's smart, right? Because they're over that little lip there. Nope, they're not there. But now you've made you've made the heavy sniper known, right? Now this other duo's like, well, they're looking to take shots. You know, the panic launch pad. I
don't necessarily know if that's panic. So they are in the side of zone, making their way in, and you can see now Drivig and his teammate Waldo are going to go in, but he box fights indeed, gets Wet Bra right out of there, no chance to react at all. And that is something that you can catch people by surprise is they're trying to make that rotation, right? They're trying to figure out what their plan is to go forward. And because of that, they're all looking around. They're not paying attention to the fact that they're not covered. They're not paying attention and listening to the fact that there's a heavy sniper coming in or just a pickaxe even from one of the most obvious locations right above you.
And I mean, you saw them separate for a moment, him and his dual partner, and now they just use that rift to reposition and get to go close back together. Got Marcote here and Squalls K. Marcote here has got 6 eliminations. Again, this is almost unusual, Bala, because I feel like, you know, semifinals are typically the day where you find a ton of players sitting on mountains of eliminations, right? Borderline double digits at times. But on finals day, very rarely you see that happen. You see eliminations be picked up toward the end, right? When you break that placement barrier and then you're like, I'm just going to catch people making late rotations. But that's not been the case today. You can tell players they're ready. They are so hungry. They want those tickets.
You can almost feel the pressure that they're feeling, that they're playing with. Right? The high eliminations, they have to go for it because it's all or nothing right now in this moment. There's only 4 spots left up for grabs in EU. That isn't much out of all the players who are playing and out of the top 1,500 that made it from semifinals to today.
That's right. And remember, we recently saw the highest point value we've seen is 66. So we know that's like, we'll say top 10 at best right now, but look at everyone in the sky all hanging out. May have been a rift to go, a community launch pad, a potential guy. Yeah, the vents are right there over by the hot spots. Right now, Alpha and Mark, they're just chilling, trying to find more eliminations. Any at all would be helpful. They find one.
That stink bomb coming to great effect as players start to make all their rotations, and it was a perfect opportunity to use it because as we saw, there were so many players in the sky, and those players in the sky are all going to end up being low.
Also ich spiele eben eine Runde, danach gucke ich wieder drauf. Mhm. Also, auf jeden Fall spielt Mongrel mit, Ghost Camo und noch halt die besseren Spieler. Okay, es gibt einen besseren Spieler als Ghost Mongrel. Also Mongrel wird ausgesprochen, aber Mongrel sagen alle. Oh, ich bin so ein kleiner Hacker. Wo ist das jetzt? Hm. Wo ist der jetzt? Ich hab eine Tomati. Oh, jetzt eigentlich besser. Ich bin unsichtbar. Oh. Ouch. Ah ja. Ah ja. Stops. Nee, nehme ich nicht. Hops, bitte nicht. Ja, Ehre, Schild. Ehre, genommen. Ich sterb eh. Gegen diesen kleinen hab ich nicht gewonnen. Ich muss lachen, warum bin ich so schlecht? Hier. Oh mein Gott, ist der lost. Ich weiß nicht, warum ich verkackt habe. Riff doch, du Pisser! Rifte! Dummheit tut weh. Instant. Dummheit tut weh. Rifte doch! Rifte! Oh Gott! Gott, bist du schlecht! Oh Gott, ist der auch noch schlechter, Alter. Gott, der bleibt! Huch! Oh ja, endlich. Halleluja. Halleluja. Hässlich. Extrem lost. Ah ja. Behinderung. Isa. Geilstes Spiel der Welt.
Placement of that trap though, and the quick reaction from Sweet to actually edit his cone in a certain way so he can make it out.
Boah, scheiß Fliegen, Alter, verpisst euch.
Four duos remaining.
Vor allem eine.
Behind, they're all the same skin for some reason, and Stysrix is gonna be able to find him easily. So that duo down on low ground by themselves right now against two more players, Nijulian and Oxy right here.
And down below, Styrix and Twix are the only duo left. They immediately shut down Oxy. They're like, one player's pushing us, just let's cooperate, let's shut this guy down, and now they're in a 2v1. Gooden here is gonna have the fight of his life, and he's on the 64 points. We've seen a lot of players hovering in that range. This could make the difference if he can find both of these eliminations and the victory royale. 5 points could make the difference. He gets cracked, Bala, down to 23, 13. Oh my God! Oh my God! That was the sickest flint knock I've ever seen!
That could have been the sickest flint knock I've ever seen, because if he got that elimination and landed, he could have gotten the siphon and all of a sudden forced this into a 1v1 with HP advantage. But unfortunately going to go out into the zone, not able to control himself with the flint knock. Just like Zeke here, a little bit of excitement there from that play.
I'm melting in my chair. I'm just slowly sliding down. I'm trying to collect myself, Fortnite fan, but it's not working. Right now, next game, 62 players, 34 duos, still sliding down. 85 points from Rojo and Wolfies? Okay, guys. All right, listen.
So they were slowing down when we last took a look at the standings when I was up there with you, Zeke. They were slowing down. They fell out of that first place. They're starting to creep down to that 6th, that 7th. We were talking about whether their games have been played yet, but climbing back in a strong fashion here. They've got one more game, and at 85 points, if they make this a big one, they could break 100 and almost guarantee themselves a spot to New York.
They have shifted gears, shifted mindset, and have said, we need to punch our tickets. We need to be on the stage of the World Cup Finals in New York City right now. They've got 3 eliminations between them. Don't forget, top 15 is the round of placement points. They are halfway there. They've got to play this smart. They've got to find these few eliminations, like this one player roaming around. Oh my God! Elite gets picked off, another elimination heading their way. And look at this, they're just looking to confirm eliminations, beam players as they can, while being as safe as possible, because look at all the resources they've got available to them. Shadow bombs, chug splashes, the combat, minis, they've got it all. They're looking to make this boss.
Ja, komm, wir gehen noch eine Runde rein. Danach gucken wir vernünftig. Ah, das wollte ich noch einstellen eben. Sprache. Albanisch wahrscheinlich. Drücken. Damit du schon anders hier kommst, gelangt. Oh je. Oh, ich muss doch einmal auf Deutsch stellen, kurz. So, einmal auf Deutsch. So, als erstes Englisch. So. so ein Noob. Ah ja. Das sind die neuen Childies. Nur zur Anmerkung. Das hier ist auch neu. Was ist das? Scheiß Fortnite. Ich stell Der sieht schon geil aus, ne? PlayStation Plus Gleiter. PlayStation Plus Gleiter. Vorstell. Schon Helikopter. Der sieht schon nice aus. Besser als der hier oder der. Ja gut. Der ist da sogar gar nicht so hin. Das ist der geiler. Komm, ich ein bisschen Musik an. Da kann ich mich noch an die alten Zeiten erinnern.
Fortnite fam. Did I beat you in rock, paper, scissors? Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. I probably did because I'm really good at it. It's the only thing I'm good at ever. But, guys, we are knee deep in the World Cup finals. Qualifier here for duos. It has been unbelievable. The European action has not disappointed. But, of course, we're getting ready to hop into more games. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at Oceania replays because don't forget, Oceania and Asia happened overnight. So we're going to also look at Asia replays as well. I guess I should have said both. And then we're going to take a live look into Brazil, see how things are going for them. I need two casters on deck. Let's get Pookie Face. Let's get Sundown. Let's get into these games.
Thank you so much, Zeke. I'm joined here by the amazing Pookie Face, who has a great talent at ignoring high fives.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, she literally looked right at the camera and then right at me. But as Zeke just said, Oceania and Asia wrapped up last night. I stayed up and watched some of the games. I know most people didn't, but they were incredible. The last spots were there, and let's hop in, give these guys a little coverage, and celebrate just how awesome at Fortnite they are. Now, a fun fact about both these guys, 7 matches played total. That was all they ended up running through. So they were able to get the maximum amount of points through each one of them, not needing all 10. And as we talked about with the breakaway esports duo of Serpent and Hype, averaging a placement of 2.67 across those 7 games. That is ridiculous.
That is extremely high. Do you know what other teams are sitting at in terms of averages like that?
I mean, you really don't typically will see placements like that in a 10-game run. Like in overall, like we've seen people being those consistent in like over the course of 10 games.
Right.
But like in that spree, I think the closest we've seen is the Twins out of Oshi when they were playing more placement based and less aggro. I think they had one of the weeks up there where they were nearing 4, but sub 3 is That's really, really, really good.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty incredible, like you said. And we see Hype just get the elimination on Pendragon. LOL there, just utilizing his edits there to quickly peek out, make sure that he's not leaving himself too exposed. Take a look at his partner, Serpent, who has got his own agenda of what he's doing over here. Looks like he's doing the same thing, but on the opposite side. So these guys just applying pressure all over the map.
Yeah, and one thing to note, it is a much sparser circle when you're in those very late games in terms of Oceania. Some players opting to play aggro, trying to get their games out there, will just go full send and try and burn through a couple towards the end to get into another one. But if you have good game management or the ability to just play consistently and ride it out, you can play this game all the way to conclusion and maybe snag what might be a slightly easier victory route for you if you're playing passive and defensive, which Serpent and Hype seem to have been doing so here with, I want to say, only 6 elims, but in comparison to the rest of the lobby, it's not a ton. It's good.
No, for sure. And to your point, kind of what you said about knowing, where your opponents are. Let's keep in mind that there's only 12 players left on this map right now, and only 7 duos remain. Make that 11 and 6. I spoke way too soon. Serpent secures another elimination there on Bray. But in terms of final circles, Sundown, this is not something that we see very often in these late games.
No, and it makes for interesting play because people can be more calculated, but normally you don't get as much room to operate. So now all of a sudden, Zank being in this 1-by-1 by himself, if certain Hype want to go pinch him, they absolutely will. They know this is a 2v1, they know there's no one else here, but Zank is now trying to get whatever opportunity he can to free up shots, knowing that the next elim that goes down is the top 5, and every single point matters, even if not for qualification, then for the prize money, with the prize pool being doubled in weeks 9 and 10.
Yeah, and Zank making that quick decision to just use the launch pad, kind of get out of there. He saw that there were players rushing at him, decided to go up, get the high ground, which does end up working out for him because he lays down a 35 and a 71 shot on opponents down below. Breaks a baller, which is going to be bad news for that player. He isn't going to have that additional protection anymore. But he is just trying to fire shots, methodically go through and see if he can actually get any kind of knocks or eliminations here to get that siphon, because he doesn't actually have any kind of healing. He does take out Jimmy, so that is certainly going to help him for any kind of future eliminations or any kind of engagements here.
Yeah, and it got him into the top 5, and Goobaz actually ended up going down as well. So just getting the tags on the end of the storm as rotation does go up the mountain. The verticality being the difference there. Elimination does go over. That was the knock we had just talked about. While Replace goes through, he edits down, has nothing to catch himself, but luckily was on the edge of it. But Hype is relentless on the high ground, and now they're going to start working the top down. When we started on board with them, they had 4 elims, now worked it all the way up to 8. There is 9 and 10, and they're looking to close this match out, and this is where every point matters. Getting the wall replaced, and Slaya goes down. Well done from Hype and Serpent. 11 elims in the victory royale.
Well done from them indeed. Now, unfortunate to see Slayo go down. I know that he is a favorite from a lot of people, but you know what? Second place, not too bad, Sundown.
No, it was a good effort, but like you said, once kind of those two get rolling, when they have the momentum, they are able to just run with it. We've seen it before in the semifinals, and when they finally converted it over, sometimes that's all it takes. If you're able to put the pieces together on the right day in the finals, that's what ends up mattering. Now we're on board here with Surf Junkie and Evanix.
And take a look at their loadout they have right now. 2 Rift to Goes, 2 Shadow Bombs. I'd be interested to see if they've split the Shadow Bombs. Duos will typically do that. Give 2 and 2 so each partner has some kind of mobility in their inventory. They do only take up 1 slot, and you can carry a whole bunch of them. So we've seen time and time again players utilizing those to make rotations, make sure they're safe heading into the next zone, and they are going to actually opt to rift out there so that they can make that early rotation. They did have quite a long way to go, but they are going to look to see if they can possibly sneak on some high ground here.
Yeah, the thing is there, well, it seems like it is a little bit of an early rift. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner, majority of the players were in their path in order to get to the rotation. So when you have 2 rifts and 2 extra Shadow Bombs as well as a ton of the shields, you can afford to be a little more aggro there, and they're actually able to now get priority on the zone and pick up an elim as well. But can they get the mats and then disengage out with whatever upgrades they so desire?
Yeah, and Surf Junkie taking a lot of damage there, so he is going to have to really focus on getting getting healed up before they, make the next rotation or before they take another engagement, because you certainly do not want your duos partner going down or falling to anyone at this stage of the game. That certainly can spell disaster. But we are going to take a look here at Serpent and Hype. We saw a little bit of their gameplay in the last game. They look as though they're playing very, very well together today. And let's just see what they can pull out right now.
Yeah, so these were actually, the last game we watched was their second to last game, and this was their final game of the evening. So that's kind of why it ended up being such a thinner lobby. It was a lot of the players trying to get through and use the last of the games, but Serpent and Hype saying, that's fine, we'll play it for a victory royale. And right now, inside the first placement threshold, already on 7 Elans for this match. So that's 10 points so far.
Komm, wir spielen eine Runde noch. Zwei dann noch, bitte. Ich hoffe, ich werde Level 100. Auch weil ich nicht so viel gezockt habe, aber trotzdem für Level 100 von den Skin. Dann wenigstens auf Max Level haben. Aber diese Bugs oder was das denn auch sind. Ich mag das irgendwie nicht, diese Bugs. Sie nennen es ab jetzt Lachs. Nicht diese Bugs, sondern diese Lachs. Ich hoffe, er ist gestorben. Hey, das macht so keinen Spaß, Alter. Das macht so keine Lust. Boah, hey, das nervt doch irgendwann. Ich will jetzt Videospiel spielen. Gestorben.
Serpent's been taking down CR9 Neon's getting some help from the Hydra 73 with the first shot getting walled out. Needs to find a way back in the zone, and he does. Lupius goes down 1, 2. Can he find the third? He needs to get the conversion over, and he does. Lupius goes down. It's a 2v1. Can he find it? Oh, no! Barba cleans it up, but second place and 15 plus Elans coming out from
Scheiße.
From Lunar and Barba, but Serpent showing why they got that top
how gifted you have to be able to drop down, waterfall down, pull out your shotgun, and catch yourself so quick. Cat-like reflexes. Too bad pretty phrases in here to comment on those.
And making sure that it was the player who hit twice with that proximity grenade, while it only being 70 damage, is basically guaranteed if the player isn't boxed themselves up. And now we're going to hop on over to the Asia region while we see what was up with the Trigger QQ boys of the Vietnamese region, or the Vietnam country, playing on the Asia region. Apologies there as we're on board here with Ricky and Joyce. Some good shots coming out from that tactical assault rifle so far. 12 duos remaining, 23 players left as we're in the half and a half hour.
Yeah, we are seeing a little bit of a trend here so far with these games, Simon. You know, not very many players left alive, but I think it's a great change of pace, and you can really see how the players adapt.
Ich spiele wirklich lieber so, anstatt... Ich muss einfach diese Spitzhacke hier nehmen. Nein, nicht die. Hier. Plus das hier. Ja, diese Kombi ist geil. Diese Kombi ist geil. So. Alter, ich bin so müde. Müden. Gute Deutsch. Müde. Junge, den liegt deutsche Preis. Hä? Das check ich grad nicht. Ich gebe ihm 3 Hüte. Du willst mich doch komplett verarschen. Meine Fresse. Kann man nicht mal scheißen, Alter. Scheiß, meine ich nicht spielen. Scheiße, echt. So ein Müll, Alter. Müll! Meine Fresse, ey. Juckt mich das gerade gar nicht, Alter. Das juckt mich gerade gar nicht. Mein Lieblingsskin. Der ist gerade nicht mein Lieblingsskin. Hier, dich mag ich, Bruder. Dich mag ich. Nicht so wie andere Skins, die lost sind. Wenn ihr noch nicht abonniert habt, dann abonniert, ist kostenlos, Glocke aktivieren. Ja, sonst gibt's nichts anderes. Jeden Freitag, Mittwoch und Sprachenlernen Bubble. Jeden Freitag, Mittwoch und überlegen. Montag wird es einen Livestream geben. Jeden Montag, Mittwoch wird es Livestream geben. Kann es sein, dass es einfach nur zu klein ist? Ja, so besser. So ist Hashtag Ehre. Ah ja. Jetzt gib mir mal eine. Ich rede gerade davon. Nein. Jetzt krieg ich Müll. Ist das echt zu viel verlangt? Ja, Mann. Ey, ich hoffe, die alte Pumpkin kommt wieder rein. Ich fall da viel besser als die neue. Ey, in diesem ganzen Stream habe ich noch nicht mal einmal die Waffe gefunden. Ah, den Busch hier, kannst Busch fressen. Stinkies. Ich bin's zum. Ich bin's zum ihr Krankenhaus. Ich bin's, alle Katja. Ja. Ich hasse Katja, Bruder. Damit beende ich den Livestream, das wird mir zu behindert. Tschüss, bis zum nächsten Mal, eure Standardsgurke. Like und Abo da lassen. Tschüss.